The sting of an insult is a familiar wound, one that pierces not the flesh but the spirit. When someone directs harsh words toward you, it feels personal, immediate, an arrow aimed to disrupt your peace. Yet, what if the insult is not truly about you? What if it is, instead, a reflection of the one who throws it? The Stoics invite us to consider insults as mirrors, not weapons. These mirrors do not show the true you. Rather, they reveal the character, the fears, and the turmoil of the insulter. This is a moment to pause and reflect. Who truly suffers from their own words? Insults seek to provoke. They are designed to unsettle, to rattle the calm you have cultivated. They want a reaction. They feed off chaos. The moment you respond with anger or pain, the insulter has won a small victory, a claim over your serenity. But the Stoics remind us that calmness is not weakness, it's power. To remain composed in the face of disrespect is to claim mastery over oneself. It is a declaration that your peace is not a fragile vase to be shattered by careless hands, but a fortress of strength that endures. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the understanding that external events are indifferent. An insult, like a storm or a sudden noise, has no inherent ability to harm unless you allow it to. The disturbance arises not from the insult itself, but from your judgment of it. This subtle but profound distinction is the key to emotional resilience. When you grasp that the insult is an external occurrence, unrelated to your true self, you begin to disarm it. The Stoics teach that it is not what happens that troubles us, but how we interpret it. This shift in perspective transforms the insult from a weapon into a test of your inner strength. You are not the target of their venom. You are the guardian of your own mind. Consider the phrase, "The mirror of insults reflects not what you are, but what they see in themselves." This is a guiding light in moments of conflict. The harsh words thrown your way are shadows cast by someone's own insecurities, frustrations, or ignorance. They are not a measure of your worth, but a glimpse into their struggle. When you realize this, empathy quietly replaces anger. You no longer meet insult with fire, but with a cool, reflective gaze. Disrespect is a universal challenge. Everyone encounters it in some form, whether in a casual remark, a harsh critique, or a deliberate slight. How you respond shapes your experience. The Stoics encourage you to set a clear intention, to remain serene and composed, to hold fast to your values regardless of external disruption. This intention is not passive acceptance, but active engagement. It is a choice to see insults for what they truly are, echoes of another's inner storm, momentary and external. You cannot stop the insult, but you can control your response. This control is your sanctuary. Imagine a calm lake, undisturbed by the wind's sudden gusts. The surface may ripple briefly, but the depths remain steady and unshaken. Your mind, too, can embody this tranquility. The insult may stir the surface, but it need not reach the depths of your being. The Stoics believe that true freedom lies in this inner mastery. When someone disrespects you, they offer a test, a chance to demonstrate your resilience. Will you be dragged into turmoil, or will you stand firm, unmoved? This choice is yours and yours alone. Reflect on the power you hold in these moments. You cannot control the words or actions of others, but you can govern your own mind. This sovereignty is the cornerstone of Stoic wisdom. It invites you to see insults not as personal attacks, but as external events, indifferent by nature, with their power residing only in the meaning you assign. By framing insults as mirrors, you shift from victim to observer. This shift is subtle but transformative. Instead of reacting with hurt or anger, you observe the reflection with detachment and understanding. The insult reveals the insulter's condition, not your value. You may ask, how can one cultivate such detachment in the heat of the moment? The answer lies in practice and perspective. Each insult becomes an opportunity to exercise your judgment, to choose calm over chaos, reason over impulse. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes to meet disrespect with grace. This is not to say that insults are insignificant or that your feelings should be suppressed. Rather, it is an invitation to recognize the source of emotional disturbance and to reclaim your power over it. When someone's words threaten your peace, remember, the insult is a mirror showing their inner state, not your worth. The Stoics remind us that external events are like the weather, sometimes stormy, sometimes calm, but always beyond our full control. Your task is not to command the storm, but to navigate it with steady hands and a clear mind. In this navigation, insults lose their sharp edges. They become passing clouds, not lasting shadows. In moments of insult, ask yourself, what does this reveal about the person before me? What does it test within me? How can I respond in a way that upholds my dignity and tranquility? These questions guide the Stoic path, transforming conflict into growth. The intention to remain serene amid disrespect is an anchor in a turbulent sea. It grounds you in the present, reminding you that your true self is untouched by external slights. This intention nurtures resilience, allowing you to face the world with confidence and calm. The Stoic approach to insults is not merely a strategy for defense, but a philosophy for living well. It teaches that your peace is your treasure, guarded not by walls, but by wisdom and self-mastery. When insults come, they are but reflections on glass, fragile and fleeting. This understanding begins a journey, one where you learn to see beyond the surface, to read the true nature of insults, and to respond with the quiet strength that defines the Stoic ideal. The path to this mastery starts with a single step, recognizing that the insult is not about you, but about them. With this realization, you begin to build an inner fortress where the noise of insults fades into silence and true calm prevails. This is the first lesson in the Stoic art of living, to meet disrespect not with fury or fear, but with steady eyes and an unshaken heart. You have come to understand that insults are reflections of the insulter's inner world, not your own. Yet, this insight invites a deeper question. Why do insults wound us so deeply? The Stoics believe the answer lies in our judgments. Epictetus, a profound guide in this art, taught that it is not the insult itself that harms us, but our belief about it. The insult is like a stone thrown at a fortress. Only if you open the gate does it cause damage. Epictetus famously said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle reveals a powerful truth. Insults have no power beyond the meaning you grant them. When someone calls you a name or dismisses your worth, their words are empty until you fill them with significance. It is your judgment that breathes life into their attack. But why do we so often give this power away? The answer lies in the natural human tendency to seek validation and fear rejection. When insulted, the ego feels threatened, and the mind races to defend itself. This reaction is understandable, yet the Stoics urge us to recognize it as a choice, not an automatic fate. By becoming aware of how we judge insults, we can begin to weaken their hold. Imagine standing before a mirror that distorts your reflection. Would you believe that image is truth? Similarly, insults often distort reality, projecting falsehoods born from the insulter's turmoil. They reveal more about the insulter's ignorance, insecurity, or pain than about you. This is a crucial realization. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, offered timeless advice on this subject. He reminded himself to maintain virtue by not mirroring disrespect or losing his character. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. In these words lies a profound acceptance of human imperfection. Marcus recognized that insults and disrespect are part of the human condition. They are not anomalies but natural occurrences in a world where people are flawed and often misguided. To be surprised or angered by this is to misunderstand the nature of life itself. Instead, he chose to respond with patience and virtue, refusing to let others' faults disturb his inner peace. This attitude does not mean condoning harmful behavior or becoming passive. Rather, it means refusing to be dragged down to the level of disrespect. The Stoics believe that responding to insult with insult is to participate in a cycle of folly. Instead, true strength lies in maintaining one's character, being the calm in the storm. Consider this. When someone hurls an insult, they unwittingly reveal their own state of mind. Their words are a window into their fears, jealousy, or ignorance. By observing this, you detach from the personal sting and see the insult as a symptom, not a diagnosis. This shift in perspective is a shield against emotional harm. How do you cultivate such detachment? Epictetus offers a guiding principle. Focus only on what is within your control, your own thoughts, judgments, and actions. The insult is outside your control, but your response is not. This focus empowers you to choose how to perceive and react. When someone insults you, pause and ask, is this within my power to change? No. Then why allow it to disturb me? This question is a call to reclaim your sovereignty. You can refuse to accept the insult as truth or as a wound. Instead, you can interpret it as a passing cloud, irrelevant to your inner essence. The Stoic approach is not to deny feelings, but to regulate them through reason. Recognize the natural impulse to feel hurt or angry, but do not surrender to it. Instead, challenge the judgment that gives insult its sting. Is it true? Does it deserve your attention? Often, the answer is no. This practice can be liberating. It frees you from the tyranny of others' opinions and words. It anchors you in your own virtue and reason. The insult loses its power because you no longer feed it with your judgment. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reminded himself to maintain this perspective. He understood that human beings will err and offend, but his own character was his responsibility alone. By not reflecting the disrespect, he preserved his integrity and peace. This is the Stoic ideal, to be unshaken by external disturbance, to hold fast to virtue, and to recognize the insignificance of insults. When you embody this ideal, insults become almost invisible. They no longer pierce your armor because your armor is forged from reason and self-mastery. Imagine standing in a busy marketplace, surrounded by voices and opinions. Some are kind, some are harsh. The Stoic does not silence these voices, but chooses which to listen to. The voice of insult is heard, but not accepted. It passes like background noise, unable to disturb the calm within. This does not mean you become indifferent to the world or insensitive to others. On the contrary, the Stoics practiced a profound form of engagement, compassion coupled with wisdom. They understood human weakness and responded with patience and kindness, not retaliation. The challenge, then, is to train your mind to see insults as they truly are, reflections of others' inner struggles, devoid of real power over you unless you grant it. This training requires vigilance and practice, but offers great reward. A mind unshaken and a heart at peace. So, when someone disrespects you, remember Epictetus' teaching. If someone does wrong, it is because they believe it to be good for them. They are mistaken, not malicious. This understanding softens the blow of insult and opens the door to forgiveness and tranquility. By embracing this wisdom, you begin to dissolve the emotional charge of insults. You no longer react with pain or anger, but with reasoned calm. This is not passivity, but strength, the strength to maintain your character and virtue regardless of external provocation. The Stoics believe that our judgments shape our experience. When you judge insults as mere opinions, reflections of others' faults, you strip them of their power. This does not diminish your dignity, it enhances it. You rise above petty conflict and claim your rightful peace. In this way, the Stoic path offers a profound freedom from the chains of others' words and judgments. You become the master of your own mind, the arbiter of your own peace. Insults lose their sting because you refuse to give them meaning. This teaching is not abstract philosophy, but practical guidance for daily life. In every encounter, you have the choice to see insults as attacks or as mirrors reflecting the insulter's condition. This choice shapes your experience and your peace. Remember Marcus Aurelius' counsel. When offended, do not react as a man who is insulted, but as one who understands. This understanding is a shield and a balm. It protects your spirit and heals your wounds. In the face of disrespect, choose to maintain your virtue. Do not mirror the insult. Instead, reflect wisdom. This is the Stoic way, a path to serenity amidst the inevitable imperfections of human interaction. The impulse to react, to defend, to retaliate, to strike back, is as natural as the breath you take. When someone insults you, an immediate surge rises within, a desire to protect your honor, to assert your worth, to silence the attack. This instinct is rooted deeply in ego, the part of us that craves validation and fears rejection. Yet, the Stoics caution against yielding to this impulse, for it often leads not to peace but to greater turmoil. Seneca, a master of emotional wisdom, warned that surrendering to anger is surrendering control. He said, "Anger, an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. When you react in anger to insult, you align yourself with folly rather than reason. You hand over your power to the very disturbance you wish to resist." The Stoics teach that true self-mastery requires you to resist the urge to respond impulsively. Instead, they advocate choosing silence, restraint, and rational understanding. This is not suppression of feeling but regulation of response, a deliberate act of control over what is within your power. Epictetus reminds us that the chief principle is to focus only on what you can control, your own thoughts, judgments, and actions. The insults hurled at you lie outside this sphere. You cannot stop the insult from occurring, nor can you command the insulter's words, but you can command your response. This simple yet profound truth is the cornerstone of Stoic resilience. When you pause before reacting, you create space. This space is where reason can act, where impulse can be tempered. The pause technique, a deliberate delay between stimulus and response, is a practical tool the Stoics endorse. In that moment of pause, you examine your options and choose the path that preserves your tranquility. Imagine standing at the edge of a fire. You feel the heat, but you do not rush into the flames. You step back, assess, and decide the safest course. Your emotions are the fire. Your reason is the cautious step back. This metaphor captures the essence of Stoic self-mastery. Beyond pausing, the Stoics employ negative visualization, a method of mentally preparing for insults and disrespect before they come. By imagining possible offenses, you reduce their shock when they occur. This mental rehearsal builds emotional armor, enabling you to face insults with equanimity rather than surprise or hurt. Another powerful exercise is the view from above. By imagining yourself observing your life and interactions from a great height, you see insults as small, fleeting events in the vast landscape of existence. This perspective diminishes their importance and helps you maintain calm. These techniques are not mere intellectual exercises, but transformative practices. They train you to shift from automatic, reactive behavior to conscious, deliberate action. They cultivate apatheia, the Stoic ideal of freedom from destructive passions, allowing you to meet disrespect without losing your composure. When someone insults you, the natural reaction is to take it personally, to feel attacked at the core. But the Stoics argue that this reaction is a choice, not a necessity. You can choose not to internalize the insult, not to let it invade your mind or disturb your peace. Consider Epictetus' teaching again. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond. This empowers you to reclaim your emotional sovereignty. The insult is an external event. Your response is an internal decision. By practicing restraint, you do not deny your humanity. You honor it by refusing to be enslaved by passion or impulse. You embody the Stoic ideal of the rational being, capable of choosing virtue over vice, calm over chaos. This self-mastery extends beyond moments of insult. It shapes your entire approach to life's challenges. Each time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you strengthen the muscles of your reason and character. Over time, this leads to a more serene and resilient existence. The urge to respond quickly and forcefully is strong because it promises immediate relief, a venting of frustration or a defense of pride. But this relief is fleeting and often followed by regret or deeper disturbance. The Stoics encourage patience and reflection, recognizing that lasting peace requires deliberate practice. When you meet disrespect with silence or measured words rather than anger, you disrupt the cycle of conflict. You deny the insulter the reaction they seek. They want a reaction, they feed off chaos. By withholding it, you starve their power. This does not mean you become passive or submissive. It means you choose your battles wisely and act from a place of strength and clarity rather than reactivity. Your silence can be louder than words, your calmness more powerful than rage. Epictetus offers this counsel. Be not angry that you cannot make others as you wish them to be, since you cannot make yourself as you wish to be. This reminds you to focus on yourself, on your own growth and mastery, rather than trying to control or change others. When someone insults you, ask yourself, what is within my control here? The insult itself is not. But your response is. Will you respond with reason or reaction? With restraint or rage? This question is a gateway to freedom. The Stoic path is one of continuous choice, choosing virtue, choosing reason, choosing calm. In this path, insults lose their grip because you refuse to give them power. You become the master of your inner world, unshaken by external disturbances. This mastery is not effortless. It requires awareness, practice, and courage. The natural impulse is strong, but it can be overcome. Each moment of restraint builds your strength. Each choice of calm over chaos deepens your peace. In embracing this discipline, you align yourself with the Stoic ideal, a being who is not a slave to passion but a ruler of self. When you resist the urge to react impulsively to insult, you claim your freedom and dignity. Remember Seneca's warning about anger. It harms you more than those at whom it is directed. Let this wisdom guide you to choose self-mastery over fury, understanding over impulse. In moments of insult, draw upon your inner resources. Pause, reflect, choose your response. This practice is a powerful form of resistance, not against the insult itself, but against the loss of your peace. The Stoics believe that true strength lies in this calm self-control. It is the quiet power that allows you to face disrespect without being diminished. It is the foundation of a life lived with dignity and resilience. When you cultivate this mastery, insults become less like arrows and more like raindrops, noticeable but unable to penetrate. Your composure becomes your shield, your reason your sword. In this way, the Stoic teaches us that the greatest victory is not in silencing others, but in mastering ourselves. When someone disrespects you, your greatest power is to remain unshaken, to respond not with reaction, but with reason calm. This is the art of self-mastery, the choice to govern your mind and emotions, to resist the pull of ego and impulse, and to stand firm in your own virtue. It is the path to freedom from the turmoil that insults seek to sow. Imagine Socrates walking through the crowded streets of Athens, surrounded by voices both admiring and hostile. Some called him foolish, others insulted him openly. Yet, he moved with a calm demeanor, unaffected by the jeers. When asked how he could endure such treatment, Socrates replied, "The insult remains with the one who gives it, not the one who receives it." This ancient example offers a living lesson. The sting of disrespect lodges in the heart of the insulter, not in yours. Socrates' composure was no accident, but a reflection of a practiced mindset. He understood that insults are external events, reflections of others' misunderstandings or frustrations, not assaults on his true self. His calm was a demonstration of mastery, over his mind and over the impulse to react. In our modern world, the challenge of insults has multiplied. Social media platforms, texting, and online forums create endless opportunities for disrespect, often anonymous and unfiltered. The urge to respond quickly and emotionally is strong. Yet, the Stoic principles remain as vital as ever. They invite us to practice mindful choice in responding, even in the digital arena. One practical tool is the pause technique, which helps you delay your reaction. Before replying to an insult or harsh comment, take a moment, perhaps a deep breath or a count to 10. This pause disrupts the automatic chain of reaction and allows reason to take the lead. In that space, you can choose a response that preserves your peace rather than escalating conflict. Negative visualization, another Stoic exercise, involves imagining potential insults or slights before they occur. This mental preparation does not encourage pessimism, but equips you emotionally, reducing surprise and hurt when insults arise. Think of it as mental training for resilience, like a warrior preparing for battle not by fearing the enemy, but by strengthening defenses. The view from above is a powerful perspective shift. Picture yourself high above your daily life, observing the vastness of the world and the fleeting nature of individual insults. From this vantage point, the smallness of the offense becomes clear. The insult shrinks, losing its ability to disturb your inner calm. These tools can transform how you engage with disrespect, turning moments of insult into opportunities for growth and tranquility. They remind you that while you cannot control what others say or do, you can control your interpretation and reaction. Consider a harsh comment online. The natural impulse might be to respond immediately, defending yourself, or counterattacking. But by applying the pause technique, you create a moment of clarity. You might ask yourself, does this comment reflect truth? Does it deserve my energy? Often, the answer is no. Choosing not to engage becomes a form of strength. Similarly, negative visualization might have prepared you for such an encounter, so the comment does not surprise or hurt you deeply. You meet it with equanimity, knowing it is just one small event in a vast sea of experience. The view from above encourages you to see the insult as a brief ripple in the larger flow of life. This perspective fosters detachment without coldness, allowing compassion for the insulter's condition while maintaining your own peace. These Stoic methods are practical, accessible, and effective. They do not require grand gestures, but simple, consistent practice. Over time, they build resilience, transforming your relationship with insult from reactive suffering to reflective strength. They also remind us that the insult is not the final word. You have the power to rewrite its meaning through your response. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. You cannot stop the insult, but you can control your response. This control is your sanctuary. In the face of disrespect, you become like Socrates, unshaken, composed, and wise. You recognize that the insult is not a wound you must carry, but a moment to exercise your freedom and self-mastery. These ancient teachings are alive in the modern world, offering guidance and solace. They empower you to live with dignity, regardless of the words hurled at you. You move through the world like a calm lake, rippled briefly but never overwhelmed. In embracing these tools, you step onto the Stoic path, a path of inner peace forged through mindful action and thoughtful reflection. Each insult becomes not a burden, but a stepping stone toward greater resilience and tranquility. Mastering your emotional response to disrespect is not merely a skill, but a profound path to freedom. The Stoics believe that true freedom is found inward, in the calm governance of your own mind. When someone disrespects you, it is not the event itself that disturbs you, but your judgment about it. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This simple yet powerful truth is the foundation of Stoic resilience. To live the Stoic ideal is to cultivate a sanctuary within, where insults cannot penetrate. This sanctuary is built not of walls, but of virtues, patience, wisdom, courage, and above all, tranquility. When you master your response, you transform insults from sources of pain into opportunities for growth. Reflect on this. Insults carry no weight unless you give them meaning. They are like stones thrown at a fortress. If the gates remain closed, the stones fall harmlessly to the ground. By choosing calmness, you close your gates. You refuse to let insults disturb your inner peace. This refusal is a quiet victory. It is a form of strength often overlooked because it is silent and unseen. Yet, it is the strength that sustains you through life's challenges, preserving your dignity and serenity. When you meet insults with calm reflection rather than reactive fury, you embody the Stoic ideal of apatheia, freedom from destructive passions. This state is not numbness but clarity. It is the power to observe, to understand, and to respond wisely. Imagine insults as waves upon the surface of the ocean. They may rise and fall, but the depths remain still and undisturbed. Your mind, too, can embody this depth, calm beneath the surface turbulence. This mastery over insult is not achieved overnight. It requires practice, patience, and self-compassion. Each moment of calm in the face of disrespect strengthens your inner fortress. Each choice to respond with reason rather than emotion deepens your tranquility. Remember Epictetus' teaching. Events themselves do not disturb us, but our judgments about them. This invites you to examine your judgments carefully. Are they true? Are they necessary? Often, they are not. By questioning your judgments, you loosen the grip insults have on your mind. You are invited to reflect on insults without absorbing their negativity, to see them as passing phenomena, not lasting truths, to maintain calm as a form of quiet victory, an assertion of your inner freedom. This perspective does not deny the reality of hurt or offense, but reframes it. It acknowledges that you may feel pain, but chooses not to be ruled by it. It embraces the Stoic understanding that your peace is your own responsibility and your greatest treasure. The Stoics teach that true strength lies not in the noise of conflict, but in the silence of composure. When you hold your peace amidst insult, you demonstrate a power far greater than any verbal attack. This power is yours to claim. It is a gift you give yourself each time you choose calm over chaos, reason over reaction, virtue over vice. As you walk this path, you become a living example of Stoic wisdom. You inspire not through harsh words or force, but through the quiet strength of your character. Your serenity becomes a beacon, a refuge for yourself and others. In this way, insults lose their dominion. They become mere ripples on the surface of your steadfast soul. Your calmness is your shield, your peace, your triumph. Embrace this wisdom. Let it guide you toward a life of resilience, dignity, and profound inner peace. The Stoic ideal is not a distant dream, but a present possibility. A way of living that transforms disrespect into strength, turmoil into tranquility, and insult into quiet victory.